Hello everybody and welcome back to Rebellion Land, where apparently that's what's going on right now. We do have an empty council position, we need a marshal, and that will definitely be this guy, and he is absolutely going to be on organizing levies. That is 1,000,000% happening. Now then, as far as this situation goes, these guys are on their way up. We expect them to actually beat the Pretender Rebels this time, and even if they don't, we have ticking war score. The Tengri Uprising here, they are not capable of winning the war at this time, but we do need to deal with them, quote-unquote, properly. We've got this Uprising, which is up over here, and we are in process of working on that. Unfortunately, we're going to get caught here, and we do expect that this is not going to go tremendously well for us for right now. That's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We'll see how that rolls. But I do expect to retreat from this as soon as possible. And yeah, that's going to happen. Okay. So we're going to retreat, and we can do that now. Where are we retreating to? We'll find out in a moment. Interesting choice. Okay, so we're retreating up over here, and so we're just going to start raising troops up here. Hello, pause menu. For now, we do need to start cleaning up some of these wars, and our troops are once again in the unenviable position of being wildly away from anything. Anything of note. So we're going to, I would love to white piece these guys. Honestly, it feels like they might do that. They might be okay with that. Can we call people into this? We can. And we probably should. We should also transfer this guy over, because we are above our domain limit right now. So we're going to do that, for sure. We can also call this guy in, and we're going to call him in specifically, I think, to this uprising. There we go. Excellent. We can negotiate an alliance with this guy, and we may as well. Perfect. These guys are, of course, reinforcing, and by the time they get up here in 4 months, we do expect them to finish off that particular faction. Okay, so we're arriving over here. This is for the Tengri Uprising. They might at some point soon be willing to white peace. This one over here, what war is this part of? They're part of the Tengri Uprising, I think. Yes. Okay, that's cool. We're fine with that. These guys are not actually taking this. So, they wouldn't be. Okay. Where do we want these troops to go? That becomes the question. I'm just looking for some enemies. This is the closest. Okay, well, that's not very close. But down we head. It'll take a year to get there. We'll see if we're actually still at war with these guys in a year. That'll be interesting. Okay, how are things going up over here? We have these forces gathering, and these guys will start reinforcing. And then we can come down over this way. We're 91% on our peasants. To be expected. And we are above our vassal limit right now. We should think about handing some of these out. But we don't really have the capacity to do that at this exact moment. So we are continually reinforcing here. We do get a new martial perk available here. And let's see here. Marriage acceptance, number of knights, spouse opinion, peacemaker. Interesting. That's a while away, and things are going to be a little bit awkward. We'll see what happens there. Continuing to reinforce up over here, and these guys are on their way down. This siege has indeed finished, and they can go and siege Luntai. Perfect. As far as this up over here goes, we are still gathering, and these guys are reinforcing. They are going to get a decent amount of reinforcing done, actually. So we need, like I said, like 8,000 over here. We'll just keep an eye on that. That'll be fine. And we're not really in any serious danger here, in all honesty. This is all reasonably fine at this point. I just want to check. Okay, that's all territory that would go. Sure. So we're going to come in and attack here. They do have still a slight numerical advantage on us, but we're going to see if we can roll this. Ideally, we can. This guy does have 30 commander advantage, after all. Oof. Awkward rolls are awkward. Well, next time. Next time we'll get them for sure. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and retreat there in good order. There we go. And how far are we retreating this time? Similarly far away. Okay, that's really awkward. Really, really awkward for us. Regardless, this will be over by the time they finish their retreat, so that's fine. No real concern there. This siege is finished, and let's see, where else can we go? We can come up over this way, even though it's kind of awkward to get to it. It'll take some time, 8 months. That's fine. How are these guys doing? They're up to 6,200. So I'm going to move these guys over here so that they're not taking attrition. There we go. And we are going to want to come down here and deal with these guys as soon as we can. There is another faction behind this. At this point, we're very deeply unsurprised by this. But this is an old Tangri populace. Can we do anything about this guy? Yes. Yes, we can. And so we shall. We may divorce her later. We'll see. Okay, so there is our peasant uprising dealt with. We won that war. Next up, these guys are retreating, and we'll see where we want them to go. Nowhere in particular for this war. Or this war. Both of these wars are all up over here. Honestly, I kind of feel like we saved some cash here. That wouldn't be a terrible concept, I feel like. Okay, so up here we have around 6,500 troops. It's a decent start. And these guys will continue to reinforce. So I think we'll call this good. These guys have split up a little bit, but not tremendously. We're going to group up here. Eventually. There we go. And I'd love to have a better commander here. We'll put in this guy. We're going to come down over this way, although we will lose decisively. Being over 5 years in debt does make things complicated for us. That is a problem, to be sure. And that's part of the reason why we're going to put these guys down. We don't need them at this exact moment. And they'll save us some cash. Okay, so as far as all this is going, we're going to have a lot more to siege once these guys make it up over here in a few months. And they don't actually have a commander. They should have a commander who has some siege engineer. And do we have one? Surely we do. There's one. Okay, that'll do. Now then, as far as this situation goes, there's a crossing here. They are right next to each other. I'm interested in seeing how this plays out, because their leader is here, in this army. If we can crush this army, which will not reinforce, then there's a chance we can end this Tangri uprising immediately. And that's, of course, the bigger uprising here. Now, they only have a total of 13,000 troops. So they're not actually all that threatening. We just need to be able to maneuver around and actually get them dealt with. That is the most difficult part here. We're going to raise additional troops over here, but I don't expect them to be up anytime soon. So that'll be fine. We're on our way in over this way, and we'll get there eventually. As far as arriving over here goes, we still have a long ways to go. We'll arrive in a couple of months. 4, to be precise. That's okay. Let's see what they do. If these guys attack us, that's okay. If we lose this battle, that's okay. Yep, they're on their way in. I'm unsurprised by this. This is not, in fact, to win the battle. That's not the point here. The point here is to bleed the peasants. Unfortunately, we got like no ticks done before they got here. That is deeply unfortunate, and we're going to retreat as soon as we can, but this is fine. This is exactly what we expected. So we're out of here, and we're retreating up to there. Sounds good. These guys are going to stop gathering here. They're going to move up this way because they are currently exposed, and we're going to gather up here instead. Now, we did manage to get rid of their siege. Their siege is not progressing. This is important. We're going to move in over here. We are taking heavy attrition in this area. I'm aware of that. We're going to move in over here and continue to siege as soon as we arrive, which is very slow moving through these mountains. Like I said, movement is our biggest enemy at this point. We must stop the villain behind this. Okay, so there's a dangerous faction. This is populous. Is there anything we can do about this guy? The answer is not really, other than get out of some of these wars. Fair enough. So we're going to catch this force over here, and we're going to begin our sieging over here very shortly. We're now going to start moving a little faster in this area, I think. Oh, that still feels incredibly slow. Okay. So this force will go away. And that's fine. There they go. At this point, let's see here. These guys are not at war, are they? No. So, we're going to come up this way and begin some slow sieges. We need to get some siege advantage here. There's no doubt about that. Now, you can see they're following us up, but they actually got caught by a force that is, to us, neutral. That's actually pretty funny. And I want these guys to just swing over this way for now. Now, they're going to win that fight, and that's okay. They are getting further bled, and some of these troops they can't replenish. Some of them they can, but some of them they can't. So we're going to move these guys over to here for supply purposes, and we're just going to keep an eye on these guys. They're heading south right now. I'm okay with this. This is completely and totally okay. We're going to finish this siege. And that brings us down to minus 35%. We're going to continue sieging over here just as quickly as we can. We're going to split these guys into 3 units, I feel like. Actually, 4. We're going to split them into... they're only 5k. Maybe we'll keep them at 5k. We do need a new counselor, and it will be this guy. Now, this faction is a potential problem. Threshold is 75. If we can get this guy out of here, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, there's not really a way for us to do that at this exact moment. Unless we succeed in demanding his conversion. The odds on this are really low, but we'll roll that and see what happens. I'm going to split these guys and move them down over here to regenerate. For now, we're going to kind of ignore this. He wants a hook, and actually, I accept. I accept on that one. So that will pull him out of this faction. He'll probably join a different faction. But that's okay. For now, that's the important thing. What faction is this now? Old Tangri Populace? Actually, that wouldn't be terrible to pop. They would fight each other. I'm okay with that. Cool. Okay, so we have this relatively under control over here. We're going to move up over here. Apparently this was not... Oh yeah, that isn't part of that faction. Oof, okay. Well, that's some wasted time. We are slow sieging over here, and that will take a little time. We're reinforcing up over this way. These troops are not numerous enough to be able to handle this situation, but that's okay. They don't necessarily need to be at this exact moment, because we have all this underway. Yes, she'll be there. Yes, she'll be there. Yep. Yep. Okay. So I think we have this under control. The real question is, can we deal with... Well, the old Tengri populace was the ones that we wanted to pop, right? Do we actually want them to pop, though? I mean, they're up here. They're kind of all over. I think they're going to pop no matter what. I mean, this guy's only 3.2%. They're going to pop no matter what. We'll deal with them. It's not a big deal. That's fine. So we are grouping up our troops up here, and they'll replenish eventually. They have a decent amount that will replenish, so that's all good. We do need to get out of these wars, though. There's no doubt about that. Of course, the Pope is going to call a crusade right now. Perfect timing, Mr. Pope. I mean, we knew that was coming. We knew that was coming. We have to get out of these ASAP. So this has ticking war score. Where exactly is this war? Interesting. I had no idea. We're going to send this force all the way down to deal with it, but it's going to take them 2 years to walk there. 2 years. You know what? I changed my mind. We're going to stop gathering up here. And instead, we're going to need to do some gathering down over here. Now, the Pope will turn up eventually. This is a problem, for sure. Technically, this isn't being declared on us. But we're not surprised that the Pope is piling onto this. Honestly, if we have to give up East Francia, it's not the end of the world. Some of these other factions are more dangerous to us than the Crusade is. So, that's definitely something to consider. We're going to white peace out of this Tengri uprising as soon as we can. Which we're hoping is before this ultimatum goes through. Okay, go ahead and slow siege up here. These guys are just reinforcing up over this way. Okay, Acclaimed Throne has been happening. Unsurprising. We are raising up troops over here, and we have some time before that's done. We're minus 26% on this war. As far as this one, would you be willing to accept a white piece? There we go. Minus 42, sure. So this guy is pretty much just up here. Well, now we can go up there and deal with that, but can we deal with that and the Pope at the same time? That's the question. So they're doing some slow sieging up here. It's certainly problematic. The Pope is being a colossal jerk right now. The odds on this are low. And that's probably not too helpful. Now, numbers-wise, we don't really have the numbers over here right now. We need to start coming out of debt. That's very, very desperate right now. But before we can do that, we need to have these dealt with. That's all incredibly important. So we're going to let this siege finish. There we go. And then we're going to come up over here. We're minus 14% right now. Honestly, we're going to be able to white piece this, I feel like, after this siege is done. This is going to launch in 10 months, so we have a little time. Not a lot of time, but we have a little. So let's make our way through there. As far as our raising down here goes, we have 1,000 troops. And our biggest problem right now is that we're over 5 years in debt. That's going to be wildly hurting us. So, these guys. I don't want to select the county. I want to select the war. Apparently, I can't select the war. That's exciting. Yeah, it's just selecting the tooltip. If we get in there fast enough? No. The tooltip is blocking the war. Because there are too many counties occupied in it now. Okay, this is really, really awkward. Like, incredibly awkward. We can't click on the war. I wonder if we go into the settings here, and will this require a reload? No. Okay. There we go. We have to go down to 100% UI view to click on the war. But at least we can do it. That's something. Let's make this readable again. There we go. Okay. So we do need to allow some of these sieges over here to finish. That is definitely a thing that has to happen. We're continuing to gather down here. Okay. We just need a little bit more progress here. 35 days. This should get us what we need to get out of this war. Okay. Yeah, this is unsurprising. They're going to start their war. Indeed. Because they're a bunch of jerks. But we're hoping that they're all going to fight each other. That's the idea here. And it looks like they are indeed going to fight each other. Excellent. That's exactly what we want. We want them fighting each other. Now, this guy comes of age. Sure. This fort will be done in 4 days. Okay. Now, we're going to have to turn the UI scale back down. And then we go into here, white piece. They will accept a white piece. Now we'll turn the UI scale back up so that this is legible again. Excellent. And that's a white piece. Okay. Next up, we need to deal with this uprising. Are there any enemies nearby? Actually, where is this guy located? He's located over here. Compared to where our troops are. He's actually not that far away from these troops. Okay. 15 months to walk there. Yikes. It takes so long to go anywhere when we're this far in debt. And the crusade on top of it. For the Kingdom of East Francia, once again, we don't have very much in the Kingdom of East Francia. Like, we really don't. It's only this. So we might just want to give that up. And be like, the Pope chose a good time. Props to him. That might be the best. CB cost, natural dread, and control growth. That might be good. We'll grab that. So we're going to need a decent chunk of troops over here. What are we doing in terms of our income? Like, we've got our maximum income from the High Shaman here. We just need to get our troops put down a little bit. All we need is a little bit of peace. AI does not want that to happen. We're going to walk in over here with these guys. Improve pillaging. Improve maneuverability. Yes. Give us that sweet, sweet maneuverability. That's what we need right now. So now, instead of being 15 months, these guys will arrive in 13 months. It's not tremendous, but it will help. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll clean up some of these rebellions and see how we want to deal with this crusade. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And I will see you all next time.